Seto, Chapter 16. What happened to Yeye? I creep quietly through my front door with Nacho's cap jammed as far down on my head as it will go. Daughter, is that you? Mom calls from the kitchen. Hi, Mom. I'm going to shower. Hurry, lunch is ready in 5 minutes. Okay. After a few tries, I managed to wiggle my feet out of my shoes, pieces of dried Play-Doh raining onto the floor. I scoop up the evidence, step into my house slippers, and shuffle up the stairs, my slippers making a sha-sha-sha sound against the smooth wood. Mom hollers after me. Don't drag your feet like a lazy chong. What's a chong? Chong is Chinese for warm, and it's Mom's favorite thing to call me, especially when she's in a hurry. Dilly-dallying is Mom's pet peeve. I stuff my high tops into my closet, grab a change of clothes, and hurry into the bathroom. Water streams down my face and smoothes my body until the tips of my toes tingle. For a split second, I think I feel my long hair wet and heavy on my shoulders. But when I reach back, my hand touches smooth skin. Will I ever get used to this? I glide my soapy fingers up my neck and into my short strands. No more hiding behind a long curtain of hair. No more ponytail whipping at my face while training, sticking to the sweat on my cheeks. After my shower, I dress, making sure a wrap of towel tightly around my hair. Mom always told me I shouldn't cut my hair. Apparently, in long-ago China, a daughter's hair was only cut when she was old enough to leave the family home. But what's wrong with cutting it if it means getting a fresh start? In the kitchen, Mom is spooning bok choy from the wok onto a plate. Remember to blow dry your hair thoroughly, she says. She always thinks I'll get sick if I have wet hair, even in summer. Little does she know that there is no way I'll catch a cold baking in 3 sweatshirts. I give Justice a hug in his high chair before bringing our food over. Black bean pork ribs, steamed tofu, and stir-fried bok choy. My mom always prepares 3 dishes for every meal, no more, no less. When Dad's away, the portions are much smaller. After we seated, I watched Mom expertly pick up a piece of bok choy between the tips of her chopsticks, while scrolling through email on her phone with her other hand. Hey, Mom. She still doesn't look up. That feeling of closeness I had felt with Mom before is lodged in my throat like a clump of rice. Nothing. Our kitchen is suddenly too big and too cold. Dad filled the space, made it feel cozy. He made Mom talk, made her laugh. He was the glue that held the family together. I glanced at Justice, shoving tofu into his mouth, and back at Mom staring silently at her screen. Where is Dad now when we need him? Maybe Mom would have been happier if they'd stay in Hong Kong. That way Dad would be working nearby, not gone for long stretches, and I look at my phone, no new messages. We'd be in the same time zone, so he would text me back right away. I spare a piece of pork and shake off the black beans. Mom, why did you and Dad move to the States in the first place? Mom pauses, the piece of bok choy nestled between her chopsticks raised halfway to her mouth. She looks at me, at her phone, then back again, a guilty expression flitting across her face. I know I shouldn't have this at the dining table, she mutters. She sets her phone on the empty chair next to her. Dad's chair. Anyway, I don't think we should be talking about this, asks Carl. I don't understand why it's such a big secret. Well, Mom puts down her chopsticks and looks out the window. Finally, she says, I know you've asked me before, but I never told you because I always thought you were too young. But Justice starts flinging his food onto the floor, but she doesn't seem to notice. I think you're now mature enough to hear about your dad's family. Dad's family, finally. The truth is, Mom continues, I don't know much about them either. I suspect your father is ashamed and that's why he doesn't talk about them. It seemed like your father's father, your Yeye, was a bit of a rabble-rouser. I think about the photo of my grandfather standing in front of his tiny floral store. He hardly looked like the type to rouse anything. Soon after your father and I married, Yeye got himself into some kind of trouble. His house was broken into and destroyed. I don't know the details, but it involved some bad people. I assume it was the Chinese mafia after money. Perhaps gambling debts? Mom shrugs. Yeye came through a door one night and told us to leave Hong Kong right away. I didn't mind. If Yeye was in debt, the mafia would have come after your father too. I had been tutoring English for so long, the idea of living in America seemed exciting. What happened to Yeye? Mom looks uncomfortable. The last we heard was that he disappeared shortly after you were born. Your dad hasn't mentioned him since. A home destroyed? Chinese mafia? A disappearing grandfather? A chill runs up my back. My dad's family is a whole lot more mysterious than I ever could have imagined. I stay in my room all afternoon, flipping through my booklet and trying to follow along with the illustrated movements as best I can. I replay the conversation I had with Mom in my mind. What else is Dad hiding from me? I asked the woman on the page, but, like Dad, the woman remained stubbornly silent.